This is the Simulation Football League presented by 8 p.m. Music on YouTube. A beautiful shot of the Strip here in the City of Sin, Las Vegas. The Fury will be looking to regroup after stumbling over Fort Worth and face a hard-charging Mexico City Aztecs ball club striving for their 5th consecutive victory. Welcome to an arena that symbolizes its city to a T, Silver State Stadium, with all of its flamboyancy and boldness. Good evening and a happy Friday, folks. I am Tyler Paul. Even with the loss last week, it has been a fantastic first half of the season for Vegas. It's the first time that the club has hit the halfway point of the regular season with a record above 500. They'll be tested by a Mexico City team that have won their last 3 games with a margin of victory of no less than 30 points. And so, Brett Solberg, as we get set for another fascinating contest, what kind of game will we see tonight? A gun show between Green and Wilson, perhaps?
It's tough to say at this moment because both quarterbacks coming in their last games here, sub 300-yard passing, which is unorthodox from both these guys so far this season. Matt Wilson and Joseph Green. Might be step-up time for Scott Johnson on the Las Vegas side, whereas Phoenix Jones can continue his dominant pace on the ground and try to move forward past his 14 touchdowns so far this season. An amazing marker.
Absolutely. And aerial coverage of today's game is brought to you by Dag's Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services here in New York State. Find them on Instagram at Dag's Drone Works or visit their website, dagsdroneworks.com. It will be the Fury who will receive the opening kickoff from Cole Varner of Mexico City. Doug Britton back to return as here we go from right off the strip here in Las Vegas. Britton's going to charge right up the middle of the field, and he's going to be taken down at the 24-yard line, and that'll bring on the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson for his first offensive possession under center for the Aztecs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this first drive will go out for both these teams. As, you know, defensively, we can definitely say both Mexico City and Las Vegas kind of flirting in that middle of the field. So we'll have to see if either of these defenses steps up.
I wanted to say Matt Wilson. That'll have to wait a little bit as Joseph Green is the quarterback under center for Las Vegas, and handing it off is to Scott Johnson, who goes nowhere, stuffed at the line of scrimmage by Bernard Patterson, the defensive tackle for the Aztecs. As we introduce you to that Las Vegas offense, Joseph Green, the quarterback, with Scott Johnson at tailback. Hubba Kimbrell is the fullback. Willie Traver Jr., John Blades, Mason Kirby, and Doug Britton make up the wide receiving corps, with Jackson Roberts, the standout tight end. So City send blitz. It's a slant pattern over the middle, which is hauled in at the 37-yard line by Mason Kirby for an early Vegas first down.
And a big credit there to Joseph Green, throwing an absolute dot between basically 2 defenders just to get it to Kirby. And after just a not as great play from Scott Johnson to start off that first down, and second down, they quickly move the chains.
Quickly take off the wide receivers and get back into the heavy set. And this time, Johnson has a little bit more room to run, picks up 3 on his second carry of the ball game. And we'll introduce you to the Aztecs defense. Bernard Patterson, Dan Tritz, Ziggy Blaylock, and Skylar Kingsley are the defensive linemen for the Aztecs. John Fowler, Ronnie Watson, and Dexter Jackson make up the linebackers. Braylon King Moore, Gerard Brody, Liam Ryan, Jermaine Mellenfield make up the corners, with Ben Charbs and Jeffrey Daggs at safety. Green gonna look near side. He floats it over a defensive lineman trying to undercut the pass, but somehow finds Johnson for a good gain of about 6.
And the thing is, they're not trying to stray away from Scott Johnson either, even though he's having, you know, maybe a pedestrian first half to this season. He's still getting roughly 140 touches this season so far, and he's got close to 700 all-purpose yards. It just hasn't been consistent performances from him.
Stretch one left side is denied by Mexico City. Excellent pursuit on the ball carrier from Ronnie Watson, denies Vegas the first down, and out comes the punting unit for Las Vegas.
And it looks like Mexico City early here is trying to force Las Vegas's hand and say, hey, let's try those one-on-one matchups with the receivers, and they're really stuffing Scott Johnson wherever he is.
Justin McCrack does the punting here for Vegas, and he has a solid leg. Season punt close to about 40-45 yards on average per punt. That one's going to pin Mexico City back at their own 18 after a short return from Jeffrey Daggs. And now on comes the Hall of Famer quarterback Matt Wilson, this time under center for Mexico City.
Yeah, and what a season he's had so far. Tops in the league in completion percentage. Nobody completes more passes than Matt Wilson at 78.8%.
Five-step drop from the Hall of Famer, trying to look for a corner out. It is bobbled and incomplete. An early pass, nearly taken away by Merrick Itera.
And I think that's the first time this season that Matt Wilson has not completed his first pass. So this Las Vegas defense knows what they're coming in against, with Matt Wilson being so hot, as well as the running back duo set of Jones and Bentley ready to go up the gut at any moment.
Another spread look here for the Aztecs on second down. Wilson's going to look to throw, slants over the middle. That is caught for first down yardage and a few extra here for Mexico City, and that will give them their first down of the ball game.
Yeah, Nick Lockett is usually their red zone threat. He currently leads the receiving core in touchdowns with 4 this season. This time just gets wide open, and when you have that wide receiver linebacker one-on-one matchup, the wide receiver is going to tend to be open about 90% of the time. So it's just Wilson being patient and finding his target.
The spread looks now with a more balanced look. 2 tight ends set as Wilson looks near side, third consecutive pass, and it's caught again, and it's another first down for the Aztecs as Bill Henry, one of 2 standout tight ends for Mexico City, comes up with that reception.
Yeah, more so known as the blocking tight end out of the duo set, as Mike Daggs is usually the guy that gets you the big receptions that you need out of him. 14.5 yards per reception for Daggs, by the way. But Henry can catch a few too.
We'll take a break as Wilson goes for another pass, and 4 times too many. He gambled on the pass over the middle, and Vegas shows up and denies Wilson another pass.
And the thing about Las Vegas is that coming into this game, they had to know that Wilson's favorite target throughout his entire career has to be Mike Daggs. So great job from Jared Crow, just backing up enough there a little bit, backing up about 5-6 yards, just staying in the vicinity of Mike Daggs to be in the vicinity of the football, getting his hands up, grabbing the interception, and now Las Vegas has a second opportunity to score here.
The battle of 2 dominant defensive backfields, the Fury, second in the league in terms of takeaways, as Joseph Green floats a pass out to the left-hand side. And that's a big gain here on their first play of this next drive, but two incredible defensive backfields partner. Las Vegas coming in today's ball game with 24 takeaways. Mexico City coming away with 23. Second and third in terms of the entire league. And Las Vegas capitalized here right after the turnover.
Yeah, and listen to these stat lines for the defensive backcourt for this Mexico City Aztecs. Gerard Brody, 5 interceptions. Liam Ryan, 4 interceptions. Jeffrey Daggs, 6 interceptions, 5th in the league. So this is an elite core that they're facing against this Las Vegas wide receiving core.
Green takes a 5-step drop. He's going to look deep near side, into trouble. And he's lucky that one is not picked off. He tried to give it right back to Ben Charms.
Yeah, and we talked about this secondary unit already here, but everybody has multiple interceptions in this season, and it just seems like they're ready for that deep ball. They know that their 2 main receivers, John Blades and Mason Kirby, can burn anybody in an instant, so those safeties are going to back up a lot in this game to cover that deep ground.
Second and 10, Vegas will go to the ground, and they try and go straight up the gut. Minimal yardage gain. They'll give him 2 after Kingsley comes up with the stop.
Yeah, and that defensive line for Mexico City is absolutely ready for any Scott Johnson run to occur, but they really do expect Joseph Green to throw that football and sling it far to get those quick drives that we know Las Vegas is capable of. So be wary of the placement of these corners here, as they are backed up a little bit there against the receivers.
Trips formation here on 3rd and 8. Green looking over the middle behind the defense. He is all alone. Mason Curdy will eat receptors like that for breakfast. And Las Vegas are on the board first.
Yeah, and it just seemed like Mexico City just wasn't far back enough on a play set like that. Seeing the trips formation, that is just music to Kirby's ears as he's going to get himself open on the opposite side, facing whoever corner that was going to be, and he burns Jermaine Menefield with no problem. This guy is an absolute menace in this league. 729 yards plus whatever he has already in this game, and he continues to be a menace.
And so Vegas will capitalize on the turnover with an opening score for the ball game. On comes Matt Rage. Snap spot kick is up from the Vegas kicker, and it is good. Vegas 7, Mexico City nothing. And if you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And Rage puts his boot through the ball as we're underway once again. Referee Dags trying to make a return to the near side and cannot get around the kicking team, and he's taken down at the 22-yard line. Matt Wilson retakes the field after an opening drive interception. Not something we see all too often from Matt.
Yeah, and it's a very unorthodox situation for Mexico City over the course of the last 4 weeks, I would say. You know, being in games that they won 44-14, 56-6, and 55-24, it's really weird to have that situation.
First carry of the ball game by any back, and there's two standout halfbacks here in Mexico City, Phoenix Jones and Ray Bentley. That time it was Phoenix who got the opening call. And let's get to the rest of that Aztecs offense. We mentioned Matt Wilson, the quarterback, Jones and Bentley as the halfbacks. Jason Bartley, Nick Lockett, Terrell Cooper, and Jacob McCall are the wideouts, with Bill Henry and hashtag throw it to the tight end, Mike Daggs at, of course, tight end. 2nd and 7. Wilson flips it over the middle. That one is caught, and Mexico City have another first down. It's Nick Lockett on another slant pass to get them their third first down of the ball game.
Yeah, and it seemed like this time it looked to be in the direction of Mike Daggs, and it was just thrown a little bit short. But thankfully, that crossing pattern with Nick Lockett, he was in the right place at the right time as well. So he managed to grab that catch, and yeah, first down.
Good step, another slant pattern. This time it will find Mike Daggs, and that's a great pickup, about 7 yards for the tight end.
Yeah, and you're going to continue to see that Wilson to Daggs connection as Daggs had 8 receptions last week for 88 yards against San Diego, and now getting on the board here with his first reception for 9.
2nd and short here for Mexico City. They come out in a goal line eye here on their own 43. Go with a run up the middle. Jones, nearly broke out of that tackle. He was tackled by his shoelaces by Itera, but it brings up another first down here for the Aztecs.
And I talked about this with owner Ramos Lynn just before the game here, and we talked about how probably Phoenix Jones is probably the smartest running back that we've both ever seen in this SFL, with how smart he just knows to get to the gaps.
Empty backfield with Wilson alone in the gun. Deep shot here for Matt. That one is nearly picked off. Sean Allen comes away with the deflection.
Yeah, and very interesting to see Wilson throw the deep ball this early in this game, trying to get back and tie this up. And, you know, we talked about this Mexico City secondary being elite, and we also have to give credit to the Las Vegas secondary, like the guys like Sean Allen and Max Jackson, who both have 5 interceptions in the season, and Merrick Itera, who's returned one for a touchdown already this season. Las Vegas also has an elite defensive back core, and Mexico City better be ready for it.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion from midfield. Wilson steps up and fires. That one is caught near the 45-yard line of Las Vegas. That's the first catch of the ball game for Jason Bartley.
Yeah, and they went to his way again, instead going with an in cut instead of going with the deep go route that Bartley did earlier that almost resulted in a Sean Allen interception, and this time gets the catch. Opens up the playbook here for 3rd and 5.
Wilson will go under center with 4 wide here on 3rd and 5. Wilson looking for a slant pattern, will fire it into traffic, but it's a good touch pass to Nick Lockett. He's been Mr. Reliable in the red zone, and so far today, he's been Mr. Reliable on these slant patterns.
Yeah, and that's about the second time or third time that we've seen a very effective slant cut from Nick Lockett. And you see all 5 receivers that were going downfield just with a slant route, a few going with their crossing patterns, maybe confusing that Las Vegas secondary just for a second, and the second is long enough to find someone open for a catch.
Maybe they're trying to attack the linebackers instead of trying to go after those corners. Maybe that's something that Ramos Lynn and company in Mexico City saw in game planning for this week, as the handoff will go for about 4 yards to the 26.
And interesting so far is that there's not really a healthy dose of Phoenix Jones in this game, as we saw a lot of Jones last week with 26 carries, and Ray Bentley got a lot of work too with his 20 touches.
9 men in the box here to try and counter the goal line eye for Mexico City. Handoff through the middle. Jones will get a couple more yards.
And not too bad of a run this time from Jones. And again, he's got a perfect mindset for a running back. He knows when to slow things down. He knows when to turn on the jets. He finds the open spaces quite easily, easier than probably any running back in this league. And even just a couple yards, and he can force his way and open things up for this Mexico City offense.
Wilson gonna look to throw on 3rd down. Out route, nearly
boy.
taken away by Itera. He's been in a couple of those passes and able to deflect them both. And that brings up 4th down.
These Las Vegas defensive backs are ready. And they might have allowed, a couple of these short catches down the middle with these slant patterns, but they've got the deep pass covered here in this first quarter. And now at 4th and 2, they have the formation to go for it, but I think they're going heavy set count.
See what happens. 4th and short from the Las Vegas 22, and Las Vegas jump offside. The play won't matter, and Mexico City will get a 3 first down after some jumpiness on that defensive line.
Yeah, and when you have those opportunities for 4th down, you don't get too many of them from Mexico City. Before this contest started, 70% of their 3rd downs have been converted. And get this, still second in the league behind Arizona at 71%. So Mexico City is ultra efficient at 3rd downs, and they had a prime opportunity to have them burn a timeout and just kick the field. They're going to keep trotting down the field here on this 1st down inside the red zone.
Wilson's going to look to throw, steps up, fires it. That one is nearly intercepted. It looked like it was headed straight at the deep safety. At that point, it was Jared Crow who jumped back into deep coverage.
And that was almost an illegal forward pass from Wilson as well, just getting it off before he stepped over the line of scrimmage. Just smart thinking from Wilson to at least get it off. But like you said, a pretty risky throw there in a situation here, 1st down, and now 2nd and 10.
Line 9, do we see another run up the middle? Yes, we do. It is Phoenix Jones trying to phase through a couple of his linemen, and he picks up solid yards, 5 all told, 12.
Yeah, and you can see on that drive summary here so far, they have been eating up a lot of this clock here and getting a lot of plays in. Now 13 plays through, getting into their 14th on this drive. They're really making Las Vegas's defense suffer here.
Over 4 minutes time possession on this drive alone here for the Aztecs. 3rd down, play action. Wilson has time, looking near side. That one is caught inside the 5, and he'll go out of bounds the 3. Jason Bartley with a clutch catch on the sideline.
And another big 1st down here for Mexico City after Las Vegas had probably a picture-perfect drive and really making that defense suffer, getting them tired enough to get inside the red zone. This is prime Phoenix Jones territory here. Inside the 10, this could be easy runs for him to get his 15th touchdown of the season.
Goal-line defense versus goal-line offense. Who will prevail here on 1st down? And can say both sides won. Phoenix Jones able to gain a couple of yards too, but Las Vegas able to deny him, led by Michael Rury on that defensive inside tackle.
Yeah, and Las Vegas really needs to key in on both Jones and Bentley throughout this drive here to know where that football is going to be handed off, because surely all three of these plays in this goal line situation is going to go to the running back.
You've yet to see Bentley. It's all been Phoenix Jones to this point on this goal line set. Jones trying to go through the middle again, and Las Vegas will deny him again.
Yeah, it's a big stop there, and now getting the third down here coming to the second quarter.
7-0 Vegas with Mexico City on the doorstep. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Third and a yard to go as we come out of the quarter break. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg on the call. Happy to have you with us here this Friday evening. Another goal line set for both these clubs. Another run up the middle from Phoenix Jones, and he will shimmy his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Mexico City.
You know what they call a 15 in cribbage? That's 2 points. But this time, Phoenix Jones gets 6 out of this just from an easy scamper to the end zone. And those 3 plays all relied on the offensive line just to give enough of an open space for Phoenix Jones. That's all he needs, just enough to get through. He can slink his way forward to the end zone. And now Mexico City, absolutely fantastic response after allowing a touchdown to Las Vegas.
That's the third down conversion for the Aztecs. 3 of 4 today. Able to convert twice on that last drive as on comes Cole Varner. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. And we are tied at 7 apiece. Aztecs here in Las Vegas. The SFL network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone or on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Vizio, and more. The SFL network, where SFL creators come together. Return from Doug Britton will get all the way to the 25-yard line before he's brought down, and out comes the Las Vegas offense for their first drive of the second quarter. And just a quick recap of that drive that Mexico City led. That penalty helped them to a 17-play total drive.
How often do you see any drives that go over 15 plays? That's just amazing work from this Mexico City offense.
See if the Vegas offense can show a little bit of life themselves. And Johnson out of a couple tackles, still going as Johnson and nearly broke Jeffrey Daggs' tackle that might have saw him scamper all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, and Scott Johnson's a tough guy to get down. That was about 4 defenders getting in his way. First off, getting past the first guy. Second guy just sheds off. Third guy doesn't get through, and Jeffrey Daggs coming all the way from behind after overrunning him, getting to the tackle to basically prevent a first down right away. But Las Vegas still cooking here offensively.
So the Mexico City defense will be caught off guard as the pass, far right side, intended for John Blades, nearly picked off by Menafield, but there will be an offsides call, and Mexico City will gain a couple of free yards from this down to R62.
Yeah, and Joseph Green saw that it was basically a one-on-one matchup. Great job from Menafield to stay as far back as possible, knowing that was going to happen, but didn't matter at the end of the day because we got a neutral zone infraction. 5 yards ahead for Las Vegas, and you get to repeat your down. There you go, another chance there, Mr. Green.
Well, repeat your down, it'll be a whole new set of downs. Those 5 yards able to give the Aztecs the Fury another first down. Aztecs able to hold and be a little bit disciplined. So now both teams with an offsides penalty here in the ball game. And off right side, Johnson spins away from one and then gets decked after a gain of about 7.
Yeah, they need to have more of these runs here from Scott Johnson. Not one of these 1-2 yard runs and just, struggling to get forward. They need him to shed some tackles and get those 6, 7, 8 yard runs that are going to help progress forward, open up that playbook for Las Vegas to, instead of going all deep passes, they can do other things.
Johnson through the middle, and he will pick up the first down. We've seen both teams now come out in the goal line eyeing and run up the middle, and so far both running backs having their way.
Yeah, and right now, Scott Johnson, man in the second quarter for sure, as he gets great blocking again from his offensive line just to get a good amount of space, just getting ahead, and that's all really any running back needs, let alone Scott Johnson, and he got that first down pretty easily.
First and 10 now here for Vegas. Green looks for an out and out near side that is caught around the 45-yard line. They'll give him a couple more yards and pick up a 5.
Yeah, time to get John Blaze involved here. It's not like he's the guy just surpassing 500 yards so far this season and among the top 15 wide receivers in this league so far. Why not get him involved a little bit more? It can't be just all the Mason Kirby show here in Vegas.
Go with Johnson on a stretch play right side, and Johnson spins into the interior of the defense and is taken down by Menafield after picking up 4 on that run.
Yeah, and this will be a key third down here for Las Vegas. They're really cooking on this drive here, but if they get stopped 1 yard short of the first down marker, this could break a lot of momentum that Vegas has been carrying in this drive.
Offset eye here on third down. It's another offsides penalty. The result of the play will not matter. And so Las Vegas get another first down on penalties. Second time that has happened on the drive.
Yeah, and you can tell that both these teams are a little bit nervous here, and they've been kind of been in, unusual situations. Not much for Mexico City because of their storied history and their successful last, I would say, 10 seasons up to this point. But Las Vegas, like you said, it's the first time that they're coming into the second half of this season over 500. So there's going to be some jumps. There's going to be a little bit of antsiness. And Mexico City want to keep that record at 6-1. They want to win this game here to make it 6 wins. So there's going to be some jumpiness in there.
Wideouts here on first down. Green going to look for a swing pass for Johnson near side. Johnson out of one tackle, and then Jeffrey Daggs lays the lumber on Scott Johnson.
Yeah, and Mexico City should start now keying in on Scott Johnson a little bit more. They know the receivers can be a big threat, but Joseph Green has fed that football to Johnson quite a bit through this game here, now getting to his 8th rushing attempt and second rushing, so that's 10 touches already in this first half.
Quick drop here from Green, floater over the middle, caught around the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 21. A quick hitter over the middle to John Blaze will get the Fury on the doorstep of the red zone.
Yeah, and that was just a quick slant there, and it seemed like his matchup, which happened to be Gerard Brody, just missed the assignment entirely and left Blades wide open, and Joseph Green just had an easy throw to get to Blades, and a quick first down here, practically in red zone territory.
Very wide here on another first down. Green pumps once, looking for the floater to the right side. Great footwork by the receiver to stay in bounds. That's Kirby on the right-hand side.
Man, he has been electric already in this first half, and he's pushing already to 80 yards just through 4 receptions. Just an amazing work from him as well. Look at this going to the sidelines. Just stop motion. How often do you see that from wide receivers? Usually they just dive to the out of bounds line, but he had the wherewithal to just stop his motion right away, keep his body intact, and move the opposite side just to get another yard. That's amazing work.
So it's first and goal now here for Las Vegas. Green going to look to throw in a short yardage situation.
Wow.
Tip, picked
Oh, no.
at the 4. Going back is the defender. Gerard Brody with the clutch interception at the goal line.
Man, that could have been pick 6 territory there. Dangerous throw from Joseph Green. And that, unfortunately, is what you get from Joseph Green. He can be such an electric talent throwing the football and throwing touchdowns. He's got 16 this season here, but you have to mind, this is his 21st interception of the season, and that is not a great number to have. It's very up and down for Joseph Green, so he's got to be a little bit more smart when it comes to throwing these red zone throws. As for Brody, great awareness, great catch, and great run down the field to give Mexico City better position to start their drive.
We'll see if the Aztecs can capitalize on a turnover. Vegas able to do it on last last they which took over the football. That's how they got their first points. And it's a Wilson to Dags connection, which gets them off and running here on this drive.
And if you want to get Matt Wilson going after watching Las Vegas trot down the field a little bit, let's get it to his main option there. Let's get it to Dags to start things off, and it works just well. Quick first down.
Spread the field here on another first down. Another slant pattern over the middle, and it's in and out of the arms of Jacob McCall. Incomplete.
And the big thing here you can see in this drive, just through the first two passing plays, they're quickly throwing this football, seeing if Las Vegas is ready for these quick passes. Even off the shotgun, there was maybe just one step and a quick throw over to his receiver. It was incomplete this time, but in this second down, I wouldn't be surprised if they went Phoenix Jones' way to kind of stifle the defense.
Wilson going to look to throw as the defense overloads left-hand side, and it's off the helmet of Jared Crow.
It's interesting. They actually had Nick Lockett wide open past the first down marker, but Wilson decided to go to Bartley instead, and it just didn't work. There was two defenders in the vicinity of that football, and one managed to deflect the football down, and it was Crow again, who's been all over the field in this first half.
So it's 3rd and 10. Here for the Aztecs. Empty backfield. Wilson going to look to throw near side, and it's a great deflection by Christopher Magel. And after a sweltering hot start at the beginning of the drive, Mexico City goes stagnant.
Yeah, and that's all credit to the linebacking core as well as the secondary to just step back a little bit, knowing that Matt Wilson is wanting to throw this football. You can see here, he's thrown 16 times at this point and forced him to throw 50% on his completion percentage. Just a fantastic job in this first half to stifle Matt Wilson.
Tying the best quarterback in the league in terms of completion percentage to 50%. An outstanding performance for Las Vegas is an understatement to this point, as Britton gets a short return to his own 22-yard line. As the SFL has partnered with RareDrop and RareDrop Sports to advance live events and distribution. Live and in-person championship weekends, rookie drafts, and community events are in the works. Visit raredrop.co for more info on what the company does in the gaming community, and follow RareDrop Sports on Twitch at twitch.tv/rdsports. 5-step drop from Green as he launches one right side, and that one is nearly taken away by Metafield.
Yeah, and that worked a lot for Las Vegas over the course of this season, going with the one-on-one matchup. But Mexico City doing their homework. They're setting Jermaine Menafield back, and that's a deep, deep back coverage. They're pushing him back a lot on that one-on-one matchup with, usually it's either Kirby or Blades in this situation, and he's in the right place for a lot of these pass attempts. So great work on Jermaine.
With a stretch play right side, denied immediately, getting into the backfield in a hurry was big number 54, Dexter Jackson, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, and if you want to keep forcing Joseph Green to throw a lot of these risky passes, you got to shut down Scott Johnson, and that's how you do it. Get him back a yard, force him to throw that rock. Now it's a full receiver set.
Green will be forced to throw here on 3rd and long, and back he goes. Another deep shot right side. And they try and test Metafield, and this time it's going to pay off for Metafield. And it's a huge return back to the house. Pick 6, Mexico City.
How do they say this, Tyler? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something like that?
Exactly.
Again, going to Jermaine Menafield's side again, trying to test the ability of this corner, and he makes him pay twice out of this one. The first time, a deflection, and a second time, it seemed like he knew where that football was going to be thrown from the jump. He gets the interception, and he gets great blocking from his defensive lineman to get ahead and grab that touchdown, and just like that, Mexico City's in the lead.
Metafield able to take the football away from Green after a stout defensive performance to limit the yardage on the drive. Metafield takes it back to the house for 6. And kick by Cole Varner is up and good. And it's now 14-7 Aztecs on the road here in Las Vegas. And partner, if things were to end right now in this football game, it'd be the first time that the away team in this matchup between Mexico City and Las Vegas would have gone a visitor's way. 7th time these two teams have met. Every single matchup has been won by the home team. Warner gets this going once again. Britton is going to start from just a step outside of his own red zone or end zone. And he tries to spin for more yardage, taken down at the 24.
And going back to your point that you said earlier with all the home teams winning their games, you'd have to think as well the magic number to win in this matchup has to be 30, because 5 out of the 6 matchups, the winner has scored over 30 points, 31, 37, 34, and 47. So be careful with that magic number coming in. Mexico City's at 14 and then get into the end of the first half here.
Green goes for a little dump off, and it's a short pickup of about maybe a yard or two, taken down by Gerard Brody. And because we're in Vegas, it's the 7th time these two teams have met, so lucky number 7s all around for whoever wins today.
Yeah, possibly it could be 7 for 7 for the home team is what Vegas definitely wants to have in just the 2nd time in a home matchup against this Aztec squad.
See where the chips lie at the end of all this. Swing pass near skies for Scott Johnson, picks up a couple yards up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and they're going to continue going Scott Johnson's way and keep feeding him the football, and he will continue getting those touches. That is a big 2nd down just to get ahead a little bit there, open up the playbook, make it a 3rd and medium situation. But Joseph Green has to be smart if he's going to throw this football. They're going trip set here. Close coverage, so this could be the play they want to go deep on.
Play action. Green launches it over the middle. It is caught and hit immediately as the receiver, John Blades, but hold everything. A flag comes flying in almost immediately as the ball was thrown.
This play might come back. I think it's a hold. That's what they're indicating here.
It is holding on Gabe Walker, the guard, and so that huge hitter is going to come all the way back and then some.
Yeah, and that's luck for Mexico City, because I think that was the wrong defensive play on a 3rd and 4. You have to know that Las Vegas likes to go with a deeper pass, even if it's 3rd and medium. And now forcing a 3rd and 14, they have to go deep. I think Mexico City needs to back up a little bit more of those secondary members.
It happens on a 3rd and long. There was a pick. Can Green redeem himself? Deep shot over the middle into coverage, and he does. An absolutely stupendous catch from Doug Britton in triple coverage.
And introduce Doug Britton into the fold here. First target, first catch for him, as it seemed like they just were a little bit too close to the Vegas receivers, that secondary unit. The linebackers did a decent job and backing all the way up as well. You could see both Dexter Jackson and Ronnie Watson kind of backing up a little bit there, but to no avail, because Britton still gets his catch.
Handoff. Johnson has a couple of blockers on the right-hand side, and that will pay dividends as the tailback will pick up about 8, maybe 9 yards on the play, as Ronnie Watson is able to eventually bring down the speedy tailback.
Yeah, and it was just good, smart running from Johnson, knowing that there was going to be blockers on the right side, usually what happens on a stretch run, and he gets himself some decent blocking to get those 9 yards. If he would have kept outside a little bit more, I think he would have gotten that 1st down.
I'll put the free safety Dags into the box, and he's going to play coverage right up there as Green goes over the top, and that is caught. Pitch and catch to Britton, or excuse me, that's Kirby this time, and that'll put them at the Mexico City 22.
And that man, give him 100 yards already in this first half. He's just been electric with these routes, just getting himself open at the right time. And again, Mexico City playing close, and it forced the hand of the safeties, more specifically Ben Sharps, to go one-on-one with Mason Kirby. And this season is probably going to be the toughest task of his professional career at this point, with Kirby being so hot.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Mexico City with the lead, Vegas with the ball. Still anyone's ball game. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by 8PM Music on YouTube. First and 10 coming out of the 2-minute warning. Green gonna look to throw out route right side is caught by Kirby, and that will pick up about 6.
Yeah, and they're going to go with the short routes now to kind of confuse this Mexico City secondary because they went long quite a few times. And now with that Mexico City defense kind of backing up a little bit, it's leaving those, quick out routes super easy, super wide open. So they're going to take those any day of the week, an easy 6 yards.
Now come out with 4 wide receivers here on 2nd and 4. Green gonna look for a tailback swing pass, and Johnson with a nice spin move to get around the defender and eventually pick up the first down.
Yeah, and that was due to another Mexico City defender just trying to get him to the ground, and he just pushes himself forward for that first down. Scott Johnson, deceptively strong. We kind of think of, strong running backs. The first person we think is Jet Zero. Sometimes you have to think about Johnson too.
Play action, Green he throws. He completes the pass to Blades for a nice pickup of 8 yards to the 3.
Yeah, now they have to think to themselves, this is 2nd and goal at this situation. This would be prime Scott Johnson territory. They could go with a flats and maybe kind of use Jackson Roberts here, as he hasn't gotten any touches yet in this game. Maybe go Willie Taver's way as well, as he hasn't had a lot of action in this game yet. But very much open decisions here with this 2nd and 2.
Goal line offense versus goal line defense once again. Last time, Las Vegas were able to punch it in identical situations. They go with Johnson through the middle. Touchdown, Fury. And we're an extra point away from retying this football game.
And that's rolling the dice there for the Fury as they go Scott Johnson's way again on a 2nd and 2. And it was great work from the offensive line. And you could tell that gap was just opening up just enough. And Scott Johnson with the wherewithal to see Gerard Brody coming in close, changing his direction from instead middle left going middle right, and then finding an open hole to the end zone. And Las Vegas, fantastic work to get back into this game, and now an extra point away from tying it up.
Matt Rage will come on to attempt the extra point. That spot kick is up, and it is good, and we are all square once again here in Las Vegas, Nevada. 14 apiece. Aztecs and Fury, as we have under a minute to go here in the first half. Jeffrey Daggs will be back deep to return the Matt Rage kickoff. Daggs from about his 4-yard line, trying to get past a couple of defenders, breaks the initial tackle, but then is brought down at the 24-yard line. And so under a minute to go, out comes Matt Wilson, and Wilson has not had the best of days to start off this football game. Just at 50% completions and an interception.
Yeah, you can easily say that he's been stifled by this Las Vegas secondary in this first half. And if he really wants to redeem himself, he might be wanting to look to go deep with 54 seconds left.
Reaction pressure coming, and Wilson does well to get the pass off in time. DJ Majesty on the pressure.
And it's probably the first time that we've seen either defense really get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. The offensive lines for both of these squads have done fantastic work in protecting their quarterback so far in this game. But DJ Majesty, he's going to get his eventually. He's definitely one of those guys, along with defensive tackle A.K. Jones. Those are 2 guys I look for on that defensive line.
0 sacks as there's 9 men on the line for the defense, and that they will get to Phoenix Jones almost as quick as lightning, as it's one Jones taking down another.
Yeah, it was instantly, like you said, just as soon as he got that football and hit that line of switch, he was wrapped up. Jones on Jones action. You love to see that. And yeah, 3rd and 10 now for this Mexico City squad.
130 seconds, still all 3 timeouts for the Aztecs as Wilson hits a quick hitter the right side. That will find Bartley for the first down, and back to the line they go. About 16 seconds to go now as Wilson's going to snap it, look for something, and there's the first sack of the ball game as the Fury finally find a way into the Aztecs backfield. It is Jared Crow, who's been all over in the passing department, comes up with a sack, and that will take us to halftime, tied at 14.
Amazing work from both these squads to have this game tied at this point. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Couple of key interceptions, one of them being Menifield's pick 6, which put Mexico City out in front at one point. And then the last drive from the Fury right before the half brings us to 14 all. And the Aztecs will get the ball to start off the second half. Jeffrey Daggs on the return here to begin action coming out of the break. And he can only get to the 20-yard line. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg here in the booth. And a special shout out and thanks to our statisticians for the evening, Ramos Lynn and Justin Raside. As partner, we've got a good game. We thought we might see maybe a gun show between Wilson and Green, but it's been really well kept in check by these two defenses.
Yeah, so far so good, and Las Vegas has definitely impressed me, limiting Mexico City to just 118 yards of total offense through the first half, and that's tough for a team that's been scoring 50 plus over the last couple weeks.
We'll start with a run to Jones, and he's going to go backward as A.K. Jones, who had the hit on Phoenix 2 plays ago, comes up with the first tackle of the second half.
I think everyone both in the chat and in the league can agree Jones on Jones action is probably one of the most exciting things to happen in the league ever. So you love to see it.
2nd and 11 here for the Aztecs. Little floater over the middle is caught. Gains about 10 on the play to Bartley.
Yeah, and it just moves them closer more or less. They need to get Wilson back in the positives here. He's had a rough going in the first half, just getting around 108 yards in the first, or I would say, 98 yards, sorry, in this first half of passing. Just a rough going for him, so he's got to get going a little bit more.
3rd and short. Great hole for Jones. He's still going, fighting off defenders all the way to the 38. Great run from Phoenix. It's a gain of about 10.
Yeah, and you can see jumping over A.K. Jones this time, getting a little bit better, the better of him this time, and just get crossing the first down boundary and wanting more. You could see he was pushing for more, and he gets more, and then sets him up in a pretty good situation, moving the chains.
Now Mexico City come out with a 2 tight end set, offset back behind Wilson, who takes a 5-step drop, steps up, looking for an out route on the right-hand side. That is caught by Bartley for a gain of about 9.
Yeah, and I think the key here for Matt Wilson is to continue to spread that wealth. Bartley's got 4 receptions, Lockett's got 3, Daggs has 2, and Bill Henry is on the board with 1 as well. But I'd like to see Terrell Cooper and Jacob McCall get a little bit more love here as we get further down here this third quarter.
Yard to go here on 2nd down. They go with Mr. Reliable in that situation, Phoenix Jones, and it's another first down for Mexico City.
And I think throughout this third quarter, we're going to see more of Phoenix Jones, whether it be through the run or maybe through the air as well. We've not seen Ray Bentley at all in this game so far, so we could potentially see him power one through for a few yards as well as we get down inching closer to halfway point of the third.
Wilson gonna look near side. That one is nearly taken away, deflected by Merrick Itera.
Yeah, and I think probably the 2 most underrated corners in this league have to be Chris Magel and Merrick Itera. Every time that I've watched a Las Vegas game, you hear their names pop up several times throughout the broadcast. So they're going to be menaces in this second half for sure against Matt Wilson.
Wilson over the middle, caught on the crossing route. That's a pickup of 8 for Lockett as Mexico City continue to march down the field now to the Vegas 40.
Yeah, and Wilson just needs to continue to spread that wealth, give more touches to a bevy of receivers that he has to go through, and then get it down the gut with Phoenix Jones to get that first down. But with 3rd and 2 and an empty set, they're definitely looking to go maybe deep here.
He's back off on the coverage, allowing the short passes possibly. Pass near side is caught by Jacob McCall for a quick hitter, and they get all the way to the 31. 9 yards on the play, another first down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and Mexico City definitely looking to stretch this drive out like they did earlier in this game with their 17-play drive, and it looks to be almost a carbon copy of that as they're slowly marching down the field here.
Rips off to the right. Wilson going to look to throw underneath. Caught near the first down line, and he will pick up the first down to the 21.
That's a big first down as Mexico City continues just to inch forward here this time. A quick first down pass to Nick Lockett, who's gotten a lot of touches in this game. Like I said before the broadcast, usually the red zone threat, and he's usually the guy that gets you the touchdowns inside the 20, but changing his role a little bit here and getting him some touches, in the back half of the field and getting himself involved early in drives. It's big for him.
Wilson, a 5 for 6 on the drive. Much better start to this half than the first half. Quick hitter over the middle, looking for Bentley, Ray Bentley. First time we've called his name all ball game, but he's unable to haul in the reception.
And Bentley's that big power back now for this Mexico City squad over the last couple of years as he's taken a step back for Phoenix Jones to do his work this season. But you got to remember that he's a pretty capable receiving back as well, and Las Vegas did a good job to bump that ball loose.
Launch set to the near side. Wilson going to look to throw. Out route near side is caught with plenty of room to work for Bartley, who steps out of bounds at the 8-yard line for another first down and brings up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and it seems like favorite targets so far in this game have been Bartley and Lockett for Wilson as they continue just to get a step ahead of their secondary members. And, Las Vegas, using this bend but don't break mentality here for this drive, and may not come to as a good fruition as they want to, because now getting pushed back all the way to their own 5. This is prime Jones territory here.
And they're going to go with a pass over the middle. It's a Wilson to Daggs connection, and the Aztecs retake the lead.
And that is what Matt Wilson needed coming out of the locker room here, is a big, successful drive that relied on consistent and consecutive completed passes. And that is what they got there. 3rd touchdown of the season for Mike Daggs as he gets touchdown number 67 in his illustrious career, and that pushes Mexico City forward here.
Every touchdown between the two of them, that much more sweeter as Matt Wilson's farewell tour here in the SFL continues. And you don't want to see it end. No one wants to see this farewell tour end, and the only fitting way I think it could end for Wilson and Daggs is if these guys find their way into the SFL championship and come away with one last piece of hardware to add to Wilson's extended trophy cabinet. And so we get going once again. Cole Varner will get us underway. Britton from his own end zone looks to bring it out, and he gets a net gain of about 2 on the return to the Las Vegas 22. That is where the Fury will set up for their first possession of the second half. And we want to remind you that the SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest is officially up and running. Think you can draft the best team every week while staying under the salary cap, or maybe you just want to enhance your SFL experience. Free to play, no season-long commitment, and a new contest opens every week on Tuesday night. Join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Steven Hacker, or Hunter Norwood to join today. As the first down play will be a little swing pass off the left-hand side, picking up no yards as Johnson head out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
And with about 6 minutes to go left here in this third quarter, I think at this stage, it's definitely gut check time for this Las Vegas offense. They've been stifled a little bit here, and they need to get maybe their receivers more involved. Mason Kirby might have 119 yards receiving, but John Blades with only 23 and Doug Britton with only 16 definitely need to get them involved a little bit more here. Spread that wealth.
Green going to change things up on the line. Go with a run through the middle, and it's snuffed out by John Fowler and Dexter Jackson. The linebackers combine to bring Johnson down in the backfield.
And that Mexico City defense needs to make a statement as well. Flip side on the Mexico City side, because if they can get a stop and have Wilson back out on the field after he had such a hot drive, it's going to be big for them.
Green looking to throw short of the marker. They try to go the underneath route and have Britton do the work, and he can't. He's taken down short of the line to gain. Picks up 9, 2 yards shy.
Man, and Ben Charbs has been a big part of this defensive core in this game. He's made big tackles. He's gotten a pass deflection in this game here, and is part of this key tackle to prevent Britton from getting that first down. And now, for the first time in a while, Las Vegas is punting this ball away.
The Aztecs have a 4.5-minute drive. Vegas go 3 and out on their opening possession of the second half. And Dags will take the return to about the 28-yard line. And so Mexico City, who love to eat up time of possession, looking to do it again. And now with the lead, maybe can relax just a little bit.
Yeah, and maybe they want to keep it down Las Vegas's throat here and get another score. It's all dependent on really this first play and how this transpires.
Wilson's going to look to throw over the middle, tipped up, it's still bobbling around, and somehow Mike Dags comes back to the ball to haul it in.
You have got to be kidding me. I thought that ball was dead to rights after it got tipped up on the interception, or tipped up on that first deflection. But you can see 3 Las Vegas players had the opportunity to grab an interception, and it was just enough time for Dags to turn his old butt around. I'm sorry for calling him old because he's called me old before, so this is payback. But his butt gets around and finally grabs a catch.
The pass that was initially intended for Dags eventually finds its way into the midst of Mike, and they come out with a run here on this first down for Phoenix Jones, and he's only able to pick up 1.
Now he's ripping me in the chat already. I'm officially capping this off as probably my last game that I'll ever call because I insulted Mike Dags. But one yard on this play here sets up 2nd and 9.
Be fair to my Canadian friend there, Mike Dags, please, as he will get another reception. Oh my goodness, it's the Mike Dags show as he picks up a first down at the 48.
And we have to remember, Matt Wilson's favorite target is the old man himself and Mike Dags, so he's going to continue feeding the ball, especially in this second half. He's now up to 5 receptions, and he's probably going to get some more as we keep ticking down this clock.
Empty backfield here on this first down play. Wilson steps up. Down he goes for the second time today as the Fury again get into the backfield. This time it's A.K. Jones who comes up with a big sack.
And A.K. Jones has been making some big stops on Phoenix Jones, his Jones counterpart. This time finally breaks through the offensive line. He's been wanting a sack for at least the last quarter and a half, getting close maybe once or twice, and finally gets to Wilson and forces him into a 2nd and 15.
Wilson in route is caught by Bartley. After the huge loss, they're able to pick up about 7-8 yards at the 46.
It sets them back in neutral ground here for 3rd down, and I don't think Mexico City minds at all being in this 3rd down situation because they've been pretty efficient over this quarter already, 2 for 2 on 3rd down efficiencies in this quarter alone. So it really depends on if they can continue this momentum.
4 wide, trips off to the right. Wilson going to go into the direction of the trips, and that is caught by, as you said, partner, wide open Terrell Cooper, his first catch of the ball game.
Man, and yeah, he's not been involved in this game at all. This is his first target as well, and he gets himself wide open. It felt like Las Vegas just completely forgot about him, and fair point, he had no targets coming into this play here, and he finally gets one here, a key first down, setting him up in good position.
He's back, Matt Wilson and the rest of the Aztecs crew with a reception and a first down. Swing pass near side for Bentley, and Bentley is the one who gets bulldozed instead of him doing the legwork by Merrick Itera.
Yeah, and we finally get to see a little bit of the Orb Dad coming in with a little bit of action here, and he gets welcomed with a very, very bone-crushing hit to his strong bones there, and he managed to get some yards and sets up a 2nd and 5.
At off the field, on comes Phoenix Jones, who will get the call through the middle and will pick up a couple of yards, maybe 2 on the play. He was bottled up pretty well at the line of scrimmage.
And again, a very favorable third down situation in favor of Mexico City, as they've been at this point white hot. Matt Wilson, about, I would say, 11 for 13 in the second half alone.
A perfect 3 for 3 here in the third quarter. Wilson, deep shot! He just floated that one into Nick Lockett. Wow! An arching pass finds Nick, and the Aztecs take a 2-score lead.
And take a look at this replay here, and you'll see the ball come down. There was 2 defenders in the vicinity. You saw Day Drury on that backside, as well as Shad Allen just being so close. But Matt Wilson, the Bronze Bomber himself, knows where to place that football, and he's done it all throughout his career. That's why he is the GOAT! The GOAT! And he gets Mexico City more points on this score.
Touchdown number 367 on Matt Wilson's illustrious career. So he now can boast that he has more touchdowns than days in a calendar year, even on leap years.
Yeah.
And so as we continue to be amazed by the Bronze Bomber here in season 18, on comes Cole Varner to get us underway once again. Britton, who's been pretty well stifled today, does have a couple of big returns in his pocket, and there he goes. Nearly, he broke it for a wide one as I was talking about him doing it.
Man, and Doug Britton is one dangerous man. Like you said, he could return any kickoffs for a touchdown. And I think if he would have continued going outside, that at least would have gotten him to midfield. But he cuts inside on a spin move, and he gets dropped at the 27. Still a fantastic start of the drive. But Joseph Green now needs to step up here, down 14.
And off Johnson. Maybe Johnson can help his quarterback out a little bit. That run for 9 might just help a little bit. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams. All the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. Second 1 now here for the Fury. They go with a run up the gut for Johnson. Out of a tackle made. Tried to maybe do a little bit too much on that second spin move. And he is taken down by Watson.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Las Vegas is going Scott Johnson here with these 2 plays as we tick closer to the end of this third quarter. And they're down 14, and this is shedding some clock off, but they're hoping that their deep plays can, kind of, bail them out almost if they really want to go in this situation.
Oh, on the left-hand side. Back has to try and counter back into the interior, and that was a broken play from start to finish.
Yeah, and Mexico City was all ready for basically whatever Las Vegas was going to throw at them. And this Mexico City squad, especially defensively, it seems like they've completely turned around and become this elite team. That's why they're 5-1.
And so Mexico City lead by 14, 28-14 as we enter the fourth quarter. So get your 4s, 86s, and 12s up in chat. This is the SFL on YouTube. And welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg in the booth. Ramos, Lennon, Justin Reside, and Stats. And, of course, the commissioner is our producer, Cameron Irvine, back at SFL headquarters as we welcome you. The fourth quarter of play, it's going to be a sack that will be negated. Potentially the first sack of the ball game for the Aztecs by Bernard Patterson is denied by his defensive end counterpart jumping offside.
Yeah, that's just tough for Mexico City because they really wanted that sack. And Bernard Patterson, he was a running freight train, but Ziggy Blaylock, the rookie, getting a little antsy knowing that the team's up 14 in this, very heated contest. It's very, very tough to see. Sack negated, and now 1st and 5 here for these Fury boys.
Swing pass near side here on 2nd down, and that will give them a couple more yards. It'll be 3rd and 5 upcoming.
Yeah, and now this is going to be an interesting situation because Mexico City might be known to be pretty good on these 3rd down scenarios, but Las Vegas is 4 of 7 on 3rd down so far in this game, so it's been hit and miss for them. We'll see if they can convert this, and this needs to be converted if they want to continue this momentum and get back in this game.
Didn't convert their only 3rd down attempt in the 3rd quarter. They try and go with a swing pass out to the right, and they will not get the 1st down. Stopped well short of the marker, and so it's another drive that stalls out for Las Vegas.
It just seems like a completely different team on the Aztec sides that came out of the locker room in this second half. Look at these numbers here. Only allowing 23 yards in the 3rd quarter and getting 154 yards of offense. Just amazing work from this Aztec squad.
Deep punt from McCrack that will be downed in the end zone. As we mentioned earlier in the ball game, he's got an extra amount of oomph in that leg, but it goes all the way to the end zone, down for that touchback. As we want to remind you that 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. Wilson's going to look near side for Bentley, and Bentley's going to spin up field for about 4 yards before taking down.
Yeah, now up 14 here, we might see a little bit more of Ray Bentley coming in, the living legend himself from the running back. And there's a reason why he's a Hall of Famer, and it's not just because of his dad jokes, it's because of his play out on the field.
4 wide here on 2nd down here for Matt Wilson and company. Pass over the middle. It's to Mike Daggs. Who else? That's another 1st down for these Aztecs.
Yeah, at this point, we might as well just be assuming that Wilson's going to go to Daggs here in this 4th quarter. They're up by a comfortable margin at this point. 2 touchdowns, I would say, is comfortable for them because this defense has been pretty elite, I would say. And, continuing feeding the rock to Daggs and get him, try to see if he can match his total from last week.
They liked how well that last play went. They'll line up in another empty backfield beside Wilson here on 1st down. Wilson this time looking left side. Nearly taken away. Intended pass to Bartley.
Or it could be to Ray Bentley because it went basically in the same area. And Ray Bentley went on basically a stop route and he just basically stood there. And you could possibly claim it was a pass interference on his own man, essentially. A little bit of a step back there from another old man in Ray Bentley.
You're just not going to get any relief from any of the community today, are you? As that pass is bobbled around and incomplete. Calling everybody old. Might as well call me old as I turned another year older here earlier this month. And I'm starting to feel it in my old age. So, Carter, I'll take some of the slack for you.
You know what? This is, again, it's revenge from Mike Daggs in one of the Vancouver games calling me old. So I'm trying to use every opportunity I can because this probably might be the last Mexico City game I call ever.
Oh boy. Oh, let's see what this 3rd down has in store for us. Wilson looking over the middle into double cover. That was picked off. A dangerous pass will give the Las Vegas Fury a little bit of hope. And it's finally Merrick Itera who's come away with a couple of close plays and a couple of nice deflections coming up with the pick.
And I got to give credit to Shad Allen on this one. He is the deflected player trying to grab the interception the first time, and he's been all over the place against these receivers. And what good time for Las Vegas as well to get this interception and try to get back in this game. There's still 8 minutes left out of this. They can still tie this up if they need to.
Green under pressure, dumps it over the middle. Unable to haul it in is Johnson and nearly picked off by one of the linebackers.
Man, that probably skipped a heartbeat for all the fans here in Las Vegas. Is that tip was very if you see that was in the air, and that was almost in the hands of Jeffrey Daggs, who's got a handful of interceptions already, and that could have been proved dangerous by throwing a pick right back to Mexico City's side, and that would have killed any momentum for the Fury.
2nd and 10 after the fortunate incompletion. 8:07 to go here in the 4th and final quarter of regulation. Green's going to look to throw. Out route right side is caught. Gains about maybe 4 or 5 to the 47-yard line. It's the tight end Kurt King coming up with a reception.
Yeah, and that one was maybe just a check down option, because you could tell Joseph Green was trying to look elsewhere, and he really went to his only open option. And now in this 3rd down situation, probably the biggest in the game for this Las Vegas squad, they need to convert this.
Split backfield. Here on 3rd and medium. Green. Passes near side. That is caught by Blades, running over member of the coaching staff on that sideline, and it's short of the marker. Maybe 4th and half a ball length to go.
And I think that wasn't the play that they should have gone with. They're going with these these pretty short routes that might be working and might be getting completed passes, but when you're down 14, you need a deep ball so that you can get back in this game as quickly as possible, so that you're only down 7 with 5 minutes to go instead of down 14, which it looks like it might be.
And yet another 4th down play will be negated by an offsides penalty. Now both teams allowing offsides on 4th and short.
And again, it's this jumpiness from both of these teams wanting to maintain their great records. And again, it's Ziggy Blaylock, the rookie. He's been antsy all game, and he hasn't been involved too much, and he wants to make that big play, but he can't if he continues with these infractions. He's got to keep himself disciplined. That defensive line needs to calm him down.
So the Fury get a free 1st down to the 32-yard line. And off Johnson near side, got a couple of block spins back inside for another helpful block. He's pushed outside and taken down at the 25.
Yeah, and they want those big runs from Scott Johnson. They just haven't happened yet. The longest that he's had is a paltry 9 yards. And we've come to see that he can break out for 25, 30-plus yard runs if he wants to, but he's been pretty much stifled throughout this game despite 60 yards on 16 attempts.
High formation here on 2nd down. Linebackers showing blitz, and here they come. Handoff is to Johnson, who picks up 3. Good enough for another Las Vegas 1st down.
Yeah, and it's carrying this momentum here, but they really have to start watching the clock. It's now getting to 6 minutes left in the game. They better start slinging this rock here. I know that Joseph Green has been a little bit off and on in this 2nd half, and he's got 2 interceptions, but he got to start relying on his big play moments.
3 wideouts. Here on 1st down, Green, it takes a deep drop. Pressure coming from the outside. He avoids it. Pass right side to a wide open receiver near the goal line, and he's taken down at the 1. Threw it across his body to a wide open receiver. And the Fury are on the doorstep of the end zone.
And just as I speak it into existence, Joseph Green has the patience, the wherewithal to get outside of the pocket to avoid the pressure and just rely on any receiver to get open on a play that turns broken. John Blades gets that pass, a big key pass, and now they have 3 opportunities, even 4, to just run 1 yard to the end zone.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. They're going to throw. Mexico City send the blitz. Green out of 1 tackle, steps up, might run for it, tries to float it in, and that's deflected. He had a wide open spot in their end zone, and partner, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe the decision-making from Green right there. He had the end zone in front of him.
You said it exactly. I was thinking from the get-go, once he started running closer and closer to the line of scrimmage, I was thinking he had to run this because both the receivers in that middle of the end zone were covered. He needed to run. Just a poor decision, I'm sorry, from Joseph Green.
I'm gobsmacked. We'll see if he can make amends for it. Handoff right side. We've seen that play run once before. That's a broken play. And so after maybe a for sure touchdown, they lose yards.
Yeah, and this has gone from bad to worse for Las Vegas. You know, a guaranteed touchdown run if Joseph Green could just run it, and in this second play here loses two, so now it's a little bit tougher of a situation to get to the end zone, and the clock keeps ticking. That is the biggest part out of this too. They need to score quickly here if they want a chance to tie it up.
3rd and goal from the 3. Green is going to look to throw. Pressure coming off his back foot. Finds Johnson, who can't turn upfield quick enough, and he's out of bounds with 2.
Yeah, and this one, you know what? Not too bad of an idea. Just threw it way too late to Scott Johnson. And once he corralled that catch, there was no choice but for him to run out of bounds. They have to go for this on this 4th down. They are at the 2. They need to go for 4th down.
Well, here they come. From the 2-yard line, empty backfield when Johnson's been dynamite in the situation. Another offside penalty on 4th down. The pass will be incomplete, giving Las Vegas another chance. There will be, I don't believe they will get a 1st down out of this, so they'll have another chance on 4th and short.
No, this should be half the distance to the goal line there, but another neutral zone infraction, giving Las Vegas another opportunity. This time Bernard Patterson, which if I'm not mistaken, that's his 2nd neutral zone infraction of the game as well. So this defensive line starting to crumble just a little bit here. But again, it's going to be 4th down and about 1.5 yards to the end zone. They just need to persevere for another play to force the turnover on downs.
The aggressiveness of these 2 defensive lines may be getting the better of them. 4th and goal now from the 1 again. And a linebacker showing blitz. Now backing off, still trying to figure out what's going on. Green stepping up under pressure, hit as he throws, corner of the end zone, and he's down at the 1. They will get nothing in this red zone trip. Remarkable defense, but you have to wonder what could have been on the first play of the red zone trip.
I'm sorry to say this, Las Vegas, but that was a missed opportunity. You had probably 3 perfect chances to get to the end zone, and even if Mexico City played great defensively, you have to say at least 2 of them should have been easy touchdowns. With that Britton catch and Joseph Green running to the end zone, just a missed opportunity.
So it's 1st and 10 from the goal line, and it's a free 1st down as another offsides penalty. Can someone tell me who's going to maybe stay on sides one of these times? It seems like we've had 10 offside penalties in this ball game, and so the Aztecs will get 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, the hamper's getting full with all this dirty laundry being thrown to the ground. Just both these defensive lines, this time Michael Rory, the recipient of that penalty there, and it feels like both these defenses want to step up in a big way, and they just seem to be too antsy. Like there's legitimately ants in their pants. You just got to stay disciplined. Calm them down a little bit. Take a timeout if you need to calm them down.
Go with the run again for Jones, and Jones will get back to the line of scrimmage and no further, as it's A.K. Jones or Jones on Jones action for everyone. Only a gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, and Las Vegas, I think their key here, they need to prevent, I would say, maybe 2 first downs out of this. If they can force Mexico City to punt deep in their own territory, this could set up good territory for Las Vegas, but it's 2nd and 3 here.
More than likely another run up the gut here from Jones. Indeed it is. Jones with a couple of nice blocks gets the 1st down to the 12-yard line, picks up 5, and that is where they will start to bleed this clock.
Yeah, and that was a big job just from everyone going around, even up to the fullback Alonzo Guerrero that came in, just ran ahead and got a key block to push Phoenix Jones forward. Just that extra couple of yards gets them out. It gets them in a little bit more breathing room so they can start opening up a bit. But like you said, it's probably going to be a lot of Phoenix Jones and Ray Bentley moving forward.
Right around the 3:10 mark. Here on 1st down, handoff. Jones, he's hit hard at the line, will move forward for no gain. Does well to get back to the line of scrimmage. I'm going to remind you that tomorrow On Next Level Sports, Carolina and Tulsa, both fighting for playoff spots, take center stage at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And on Sunday, me and Brett will be back in the booth for Indianapolis and DC, as Indianapolis is fresh off its 63-10 dismantling of the V8s. They'll take on the DC Dragons. Live look-ins include Sioux Falls, Baltimore, and Motor City, Los Angeles. For a channel guide and more info about NXT, visit nlse.com.
There's another decent run there for Phoenix Jones and just keeps shedding the clock here. And that's all Mexico City wants at this point. They did their job with their goal line stand, and Jones will continue to get this ball fed to him, whether it be through swing passes or what we'll see a lot of, runs up the gut, and now sets up a 3rd and 3. Another big 3rd down stop opportunity for this Las Vegas defense.
This will take us all the way to the 2-minute warning here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the home team in this matchup has always won. Mexico City 2 minutes away from being the first away team in this little rivalry to take home victory. 28-14, you're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. More importantly, for the Aztecs partner, it would be Mexico's 5th win in a row and would put the Fury on a 2-game losing streak if the score line stands. Handoff Jones through the middle. He is stopped for a gain of about 2, and so Las Vegas will get a timeout as it hits 4th down, and so Vegas will have some time and 2 timeouts to maybe make something happen after the punt return.
And we've talked about Mexico City doing their job all throughout this half. This is the time that Las Vegas did their job right. They only allowed the 1 first down. They stopped them on this key 3rd down and could have potentially a good field position getting this possession. This is big for them.
Punt is away from George Amy and Doug Britton on the return. Yet to see him make something happen in the return game today, and will be stifled yet again at his own 48-yard line. So only 52 yards to go, and hopefully no more red zone shenanigans from the Fury offense.
Yeah, and I think the Fury are really just going to look for that deep ball early. And I know that they've been burned a few times, especially with that Jermaine Menefield pick 6. But at this point, down 14, you got to go with your big guns. And Mason Kirby has been your big gun in this game. Go to him.
Empty backfield, Green under center with 4 wideouts. He's going to go back to pass, 5-step drop shot over the middle, caught inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. It's the quick hitters right away, partner. John Blades finds the ball.
Yeah, and this time it was just distraction from the right side, knowing that Kirby is that main option, and leaving the lone receiver open was John Blades, beating his man basically from the cut, and Gerard Brody just a step behind. And just so happens that Blades gets the catch on this first play, getting them into field goal territory, but Las Vegas doesn't want a field goal here. They want it all.
Very identical looking numbers, however, a pick 6 and just more consistency from the offense for Mexico City has them with this 2-score lead. Green and company for Vegas trying to make something happen. Corner routes nearly picked up by Menefield, looking for a second of the day.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous matchup at this point. Now that we've seen this kind of go throughout this game, you know that Kirby and Blades are going to be the 2 guys really looking for the football, and it's going to be a spread the wealth kind of day for both of these receivers as we get to this 2-minute drill for the Las Vegas squad. So Menefield, again, just doing a nice job staying within the vicinity of the football and the receiver, get the deflection, push them to a second down here.
2nd and 10, minute 40 to go. Here in the 4th quarter, Green, quick drop, looking over the middle into double coverage, incomplete. Fowler and company were right there on Blades. Just too much to handle.
And it's just as I called. It's Blades first, then Kirby, then Blades again, and that's resulted now in 2 incompletions. The linebackers now playing a big part in trying to stop these receivers, just even on an in-crossing route. And we might be able to guess this one. It might go to Kirby.
3rd and 10. We'll see what happens. Pass right side, one-handed, immaculate interception from Menefield. Oh, what a play from the DB!
Statue of Liberty Get the heck out of my sight. We should call this the Jermaine Menefield pose after that one. How about icing this one in the bank for Mexico City? Jermaine Menefield once again, one-on-one coverage with Mason Kirby, prevails with another interception. What a fantastic game. What a fantastic second half for Mexico City.
And that might just do it here for the Aztecs, as one kneel down will make Las Vegas call their third and final timeout. And I don't think there's enough time on the clock for the Fury to come back in this one. It's the Mexico City Aztecs on the road, taking the first victory in this matchup history for a team on the road. It is lucky number 7 in favor of Mexico City, and it's win number 5 in a row for the Aztecs, as they will move to 6-1 and will remain the sole division leaders in that tough Tex-Mex, aka South Division.
Yeah, and it's just a complete turnaround for Mexico City, both offensively and defensively. And I said this like even in the latter stages of the third quarter. It just seemed like a completely different team. They know who to cover. They knew where to stop Scott Johnson and stifle his day and make Joseph Green throw these tough passes. It just seemed like Mexico City was ready and on the just ready to go in that second half, whereas Las Vegas was basically playing catch up that entire half. And it resulted in this, I would say, statement victory for Mexico City, even though they didn't score the exorbitant amount of points that they did, 155 to be exact, over the last 3 weeks, only scoring 28. But that defense really stepped up in the second half, with basically preventing 0 points on the board in the second half.
Will be a punt, and we do know how dangerous the special teams unit is. Maybe not all is lost here for the Fury. Clock hasn't hit triple zeros just yet. They're going to milk as much clock as possible. Britton will be the return man. He will receive it right around his 35-yard line. He's going to go backward. Nothing doing with Doug Britton. There will be 2 seconds to go on the game clock here for Las Vegas to maybe put up some more points before we hit final. And here comes the offense for the Fury.
Yeah, and I think right now, just hurl that ball deep. And you've got 2 great options, 2 speedy options. And despite Menefield playing a fantastic game on Mason Kirby, I think he's the guy you still go to.
Green will look for a deep shot, near side, deflected away, and Brody comes away with the deflection. And that's it. Aztecs 28, Fury 14. And a outstanding display of defense.
Yeah, and we talk about just like the tale of 2 halves, essentially. It just felt like Mexico City was stifled on their own despite it being a tied game. And I talked about the 118 yards that Mexico City only had in that first half. But how about only allowing Las Vegas 109 yards in the second half, basically one-upping them? Just basically flipping that board around and just showing why Mexico City has been this elite football club over the last several seasons. They're always title contenders no matter what, but I think this season is a little bit special, not only because of Matt Wilson's farewell tour, but this just seems like a different Mexico City squad that steps up at the right moments, blows teams out when they have to, and they need to make statements against other teams. And despite having the 1 loss coming from week 2 against Houston, it's tough to bet against them in any game moving forward. Just a fantastic outing for Mexico City.
The defense prevails here for the Aztecs. It's the first time in 4 games that they have not won by 30 or more points, but it don't matter. A win's a win here for the Aztecs. And the player of the game will be Jeremiah Menefield. A defensive player gets player of the game. That brings a smile to my face with 2 interceptions, a pick 6. Just a fantastic day for Menefield all around. And for everyone here at SFL headquarters, I'm Tyler Falk. We will see you tomorrow for more SFL action. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Bear do.